As a member of your yearbook staff, you know, or you're about to find out, the work that goes into creating each book. From taking photographs and writing copy to creating spreads and selling books, it's a process that keeps us busy all year. But have you ever thought about what happens after you click submit? After your team completes the job, another team steps in to turn all your files into this. So we've come here to the Herff Jones plant to show you firsthand what happens between your final deadline and delivery day. I'll take you through the process and we'll start where your files do, in the server room. Hi, I'm Maggie.
Adam.
Hi, so tell me a little bit about the server room.
Server room is where we hold all of our data. So every department, every customer service advisor, every TSA that the school deals with will be dealing with files located on these servers.
Wow, so tell me about the scale. It seems pretty big.
It is fairly big, so if you can consider your home computer's got a 1 terabyte hard drive inside. We have about 120 that is live and currently moving as we speak right now. So you can think of it as 120 local machines at your house working all together.
Wow, so how long is the cables and the wires that run through this place?
Throughout the whole plant, we have 26 Cat6 cabling that runs through here. So that means it's got insulation in it so you can maneuver it, bend it, all that good stuff. But overall, about 26 miles worth of copper cabling.
Wow, that's like a marathon of cable. That's a lot. So what goes after this?
Well, like I said, all the departments reach these servers. And so our end goal, though, in pre-press is to get that plate made. Once we get that plate made, then we're ready to go on the press.
The staff at the plant handles everything from pictures and color to checking to make sure every page you submitted arrived for production. One of the first stops is page analysis. All right, so Doris, I'm curious to know what you do here.
Okay, well, I do quite a few things, but our main job in page analysis is to enter the new pages that come in, and then we pick them up in YBS, the color, whether they're color, or if they have any charges on them, and then we also do proofs in this department.
Oh, cool. So I heard that you've been here for a while.
I've been here 48 years, and my goal was to make it 50 years.
Wow, that's awesome. So what is Color Plus?
Color Plus is our enhancing program, and when the pictures are submitted automatically by the school, then they go through a process that automatically enhances every image. And after those are all enhanced, then as an imaging operator, we go through every single picture and color correct anything that might not have been handled correctly by CFIT.
So you go through every picture. That must be a lot of pictures, like thousands and thousands of pictures.
It's probably more like millions and millions of pictures.
Oh, wow.
So every single picture gets looked at by an enhancer and color corrected if need be.
So you work with page corrections. What does that mean? What do you do on a daily basis?
Well, actually, when the schools send in their files, originally we put them together and compile the pages and print out some proofs for them, send them back out. Well, then the school, they make changes to those pages and they send them back to us. So at the correction cycle, we make sure that all of the fonts are loaded, all of the pictures are loaded and everything, and what they get, the final result on corrections is what they see in the book. So we are the final people that touch the pages before they go in the book.
So that's what happens when something goes wrong?
Well, that's when I contact your customer service advisor, and we work it out from there.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Maggie. How are you?
Good. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do as a customer service advisor?
I can. As a customer service advisor, we do pretty much everything. We're your end-all, be-all. You call us for anything, if you want to order anything, any questions, any problems. That's where you are. I work with a lot of my schools and advisors and my reps.
Wow. So it sounds like you have a connection with the schools and the books you work with.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They're like my children. I protect them like a lion mother would her cubs.
Once everything has been checked, color corrected, and is ready to go, the spreads are combined into flats and signatures. No longer visible as individual spreads, the pages are arranged as they will be printed. And then it's time for those plates Adam mentioned. The images for each side of a signature are laser etched into 4 huge aluminum plates: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. A little bit of chemistry removes the emulsion, and after a quick rinse, the plates are ready for the press. Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, so these are some of the plates, and I was just wondering how these plates turn into colored pages.
Well, basically this plate right here is a yellow plate, and that dark area, that's a lot of image. So there'll be a lot of yellow ink right there on that particular page.
Where does all the ink come from? Like, where do you keep it?
Our ink actually comes from right over here.
Wow, these look huge. How heavy is one of these barrels?
That's 450 pounds of ink.
Oh my gosh.
It's pumped through these pipes all the way to the press.
So Ryan, I learned all about CMYKs. Can you tell me a little bit about spot color? I know a lot of schools use that on their covers.
Oh, it's a special process ink that is just one color ready to go for that color they chose instead of being blended to come to that. A lot of these colors cannot be blended to this, like the orange right here. It's too bright. There's no way we could bring it up with these process. So when the school wants a special color, they got to order it, tell us which one.
Spot color is just one option that staffs have when it comes to making a cover. Another is UV coating, which is a screening process that results in a shiny effect on selected areas. At Herff Jones, the possibilities for your cover are almost endless. So what are the different cover options?
There are many, many different cover options. You can have a standard litho to foil, foil to emboss, register, die cut.
Hi Randy, can you tell me a little bit about your job here?
And been doing the embossing for 25 years, and also work with foil stamping, die cut, metal age, do some hand work in overtone.
So what are these right here? Can you explain to me?
Okay. This is actually a job that's a custom embossed job that has a grain that's going to be applied to it, but we're going to do the foil stamping first. And this is the layout for the front of the cover. And this will be the layout for the spine. I've already have the die set and actually use the positive to find the center of the spine on it. And once we get it foil stamped, we're going to move it over to grain. And I don't actually have the graining under play made just yet. But once we get it grained, we're going to apply the embossing to it. And that'll, this is actually a model die. And the reason I didn't emboss it first is because if I did, because the levels are different, this wouldn't stamp very well after it's been embossed. So,
all right.
Like I said, we do die cut covers here, and this one would normally be done on an automatic machine, but simply because I wouldn't be able to keep up pushing each die cut out.
Right.
When you're running 1,200 covers an hour, it's kind of hard to knock out 4 cuts and keep up with the machine. So we're doing this one by hand. So
Quarter bound, horizontal quarter bound, double quarter bound, plexiglass.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi Maggie.
Hi, can you explain to me what exactly silk screening is?
Silk screening is actually a process of printing on your covers.
Oh cool, so what's the difference between the green and the yellow here?
The green and the yellow. What is green will not allow any of our ink to go through. Anything in yellow allows our ink to come through it.
Alright, so what is this over here?
This is actually a film done up of your screen. Pretty much what we lay the ink with. We will lay it out, format it on your cover material, lay it out. This is actually a dead register job where we will lay the first color, come back and fill in your type for a dead register.
So it has to be pretty exact?
It pretty much has to be perfect.
Can you explain to me how this machine works?
Alright, first we put the boards in on this side, and then we put the cloth and the sheets in on that side. The boards come in, the sheet goes around the glue roller, puts them together, runs through the machine, folds the ends over, comes out on the other side.
So how many books can you do a minute?
Up to 60 a minute.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And this looks like it's getting pretty hot. How hot does it get, do you know?
Right now it is 144 degrees.
Oh my gosh, that's so hot.
Etched plexiglass, overtone, metal A, and the list goes on.
Now that we've talked covers, let's head back to the printing room. So Blake, that's a crazy amount of paper.
Yes, it is. It's about 6,500 sheets.
Oh my gosh, how many do you go through each shift or each day?
On an average, 40 to 50,000 sheets.
Wow, that's a lot. So where does it go after this?
Up here. I'll show you. Alright, now once it goes down the board, we have plates. And they go inside the press. And then there's ink rollers that get ink on the plates. And then the plate will then print the blanket. And then the paper goes on the compression cylinder, which is that, and travels. There's the blanket, and here's the cylinder, and it'll go in, and it'll actually print the top, or the bottom half of the sheet. And it travels down the press. From the black unit to the blue unit. And so forth.
About how the ink has to be refilled manually, but here it comes through the pipe. So what's going on right here?
Yeah, well over here we got an automatic system. Right here's a sensor, and it can tell when the ink gets low. And then once it reads that it's low, it'll come out just like this. And then the sensor will know when it's filled up all the way, and then it will just shut off.
Cool. So we're up on top of the press, and there's 8 of these units. So what are they doing?
Yeah, well, this half over here is the bottom side. So we've got black, blue, red, yellow. So it's put in the bottom half. And then we're actually, this is the halfway point. And this is where it'll flip the sheet. And it'll actually print the top half.
Cool.
And then it'll go out the other end of the press.
So Blake, is this a new plate or an old plate?
This is actually an old plate, and the way you can tell is you can see a lot of ink on it, and you can see where it grabbed a lot of blank ink from the students wearing their tuxedos. And then after the job is done, these will lift up, the new plates will go on. And then once that happens, we'll take these old plates off.
Alright.
They go off just like this. Pull it over here, and then we'll actually grab the new plates.
So the plates are in, the ink's ready. Are you ready to start the machine?
Yes, we are actually. We have to start it up and run a few sheets through the press. And Chris over here will grab the sheet.
What happens over here?
Now, what Chris has to do is when he grabs the sheet, he'll use his glass. He'll just make sure that plates are lined up all the way. And if they aren't lined up, you can't get that way of juice.
Are there a lot of mistakes and you have to throw a lot of pieces of paper away?
Yeah, there is some mistakes. You know, he'll have to run a few extra sheets just to make sure everything's correct, and he'll actually have to throw the other ones away.
You throw them away? Do you recycle them?
Yeah, actually we throw them in the bin, and we do recycle all of our paper.
I also heard your ink is made of soybeans. Is that true?
Yes, it is. It's environmentally friendly.
The printed signatures dry for 24 hours before making their way to the folding machine, where each sheet becomes a 16-page booklet with the pages in book order. An operator checks booklets in each batch to make sure everything is looking good. Completed signatures are bundled and take a ride up the rollers to the mezzanine for storage until it's time for collation. Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi, I'm Regina.
Hi. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on here?
We are collating yearbooks.
What does that mean?
It means you take signatures that drop down out of each pocket and it brings the book to where it makes a complete book from signature 1 to 9. And it makes a whole yearbook.
So what's the capacity of the machine?
We just finished an order for 1,500 and we did that out in about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And it kind of depends on how fast you run. Like this is your speed control. We're running on 6. You can go as high as 10. But I go between 6 and 7.
Alright, so where do the 6 come from?
Over here by Melissa. Maybe a little bit better description on Dana that so pocket.
Hi, I'm Maggie. So, where do you get the SIGs to put in the machine so they go down to red?
They come down our spiral, they come to the line, we'll make sure they're the correct numbers, and we'll line them up by pockets, which have the same number. We'll unbind them and we'll stick them in each pocket, and then it'll collate them, it'll pull from the bottom, and it'll go through to red.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
With the entire book in order, it's time for the sewing machine. Each individual signature is sewn and the set of signatures is stitched together to give the book strength when it's bound. At this point, the signatures are physically connected for the first time and they're off to Jeremy for end sheets. Hi, I'm Maggie.
Jeremy.
Can you tell me about how this machine works?
Well, after the books are fed in, it does come down and it'll press the books to even out the spine and the face thickness of the book.
Wow, how much pressure is used?
It uses 7.5 tons over 200 milliseconds.
So Jeremy, how do the end sheets get put on the books?
Well, after they're smashed, they come over into our end sheet feeder, which is the vacuum feed system. So it actually draws out the last end sheet on the stack, and then it slides down into our glue machine, and it goes through into a presser that presses the glued end sheets onto the book block itself. So after it's been end sheeted, it'll actually come down here, run across a couple rollers to have the spine glued, and then it also applies another side glue for our taping machine right here.
What type of glue do you use?
We actually use the same type of EVA hot melt that the case-in machine uses for their side glue.
At last, the books are trimmed so that all the pages are accessible. The 3-blade brings the pages to their finished size by trimming the top, bottom, and external margins simultaneously. And with that, it's time to bring the pages and cover together. Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Can you tell me about how the covers are put on the books?
Sure. As the books are being fed up through your book blocks, this is where all your covers would be in the hopper, and we can put up to 300 covers in the hopper at one time. And then as it feeds up, it comes up here and it gets creased so that the book is centered on the thing. Our hot melt heads are down here, and that puts hot melt on the top of your book.
How hot does that get?
Oh, it's 160 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
So it'll hold your book up in the hinge so you don't want your book falling out when you're getting them autographed. And then it'll come up here, and this is where your cold glue goes on your end sheets, and it seals your end sheets down to the book. And the rub down rollers press it down onto the book, and then it goes around here into the rounder. And then the rounder is what creases your book. It puts up to 10 tons of pressure on the book to seal it.
How many books can you put through here?
At 70 books an hour or a minute, if we're running full speed, you can run 4,200 books in an hour's time if you're running full speed.
As each order is completed, the books are carefully boxed, stacked on pallets, shrink wrapped, and ready for shipping to schools. So I'm here with Plant Superintendent John Rowe. John, how long have you been with Thrift Jones?
33 years.
Wow, you've seen a lot of your books go through.
Millions and millions of books.
Wow, so after talking with everybody today, I noticed that all the people here that work at the plant have a lot of pride.
We have over 200 people that work here, and every one of them take pride in everything they do every day. We have lots and lots of pages every year, 500,000 pages every year that they go through and work on, and they all love what they do.
Well, on behalf of all the staffs out there, thank you.
Thank you.
Yearbook pride doesn't end with our staffs. I never realized how much all this played into creating our dream books. Thrift Jones shares our passion for yearbooks that tell amazing stories and preserve memories.